Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Wednesday, October 10th, and we are taking the slow route at this point. So I'm gonna, I need to get Tavern Brawls, I need to play road cards. I'm not making any progress doing either one of those. I'm going to decide to just do this defeat 3 monsters and monster hunt, and make some progress there. Let's see, that would be this one, right? Monster hunt this way, and let's see, what are we doing so far? Which one would have the most rogue cards? I don't think it would even matter, but let's take this. Let's go with Jade. I think Jade is always the right one. Let's start playing. Tech Raptor has an article. There's a free DLC for XCOM 2, War of the Chosen. The Tactical Legacy Pack is out today, so if you like XCOM 2, you can get that free DLC. Along with that was a free weekend play of XCOM something or other. Let's focus here a little bit and play. Okay. Snake Trap. Or there's... I guess we start with this. We have a game on Steam called Lawnmower Game 3 Horror. If you ever needed to see what is at least an example of old low effort games, this is it. It's a cheap asset flip game of a person that you can barely tell is even a person riding a lawnmower and hitting things. And they want $1.19 for this 40% off game. No thank you. So, unfortunately, while for many years that was the level of low effort games that would get put on Steam, we have now hit a level.
The dead have tales to tell.
Trigger all death rattles. Trigger all minions death rattle ability, okay.
First kill.
Okay. So I'll just leave that there. Next we have a couple of Gamatsu articles that aren't super important because of the fact that the specific games are delayed, but are more just typical examples of how video games are announced in Japan and then inevitably delayed for later. So Gamatsu has an article, Inazuma 11 Aries delayed to winter in Japan, no longer due out this fall. So Inazuma 11 Aries is a soccer game based on a soccer anime, kids playing soccer. It actually looks pretty good. I don't think it was going to come to the West. It's coming out for the PlayStation 4, Switch, and smartphones, which is odd. A kind of odd new thing they're doing, where they're making smartphone versions of AA games. Let's see, which would I prefer? I'll take that one.
First kill.
I'm gonna go ahead and kill one of these guys. So yeah, there's a delay there after it was announced not really even a year ago. And then a lot of these announcements seem to really just come out because of Tokyo Game Show, and they just, there's just not a problem in Japan of delaying games. They'd rather people get them right than get them on time, whereas I'd say the rest of the world video game development seems to very much be focused around sticking to deadlines a lot more.
That minion is not ready.
Oh darn it, I thought that one had charge. I played that wrong.
Job's done.
The next article from Gamatsu is Yokai Watch 4 delayed to spring 2019 in Japan. No longer due out this winter. Both of these games, by the way, were being developed by Level 5 Entertainment. So it's a company issue, company-wide issue, you can assume. That doesn't, I think, inherently tell me that they are having trouble with development or that they're having trouble finding funding, although that could be the case. It really just, to me, tells me that that is standard operating procedures. We already talked about Microsoft in talks to acquire Obsidian Entertainment. Gamasutra has an article about it. Everybody has an article about it. Everybody's making an article about it before anything has really been said. Trigger all minions' death rattles, reduce the cost of all cards in your hand by 30. Fill your board with copies of random minions from your opponent's deck. Trigger all death rattles twice. I'm gonna do this one. And then secrets cost 0. I'll take that, I guess. Gamatsu has an article. NES Nintendo Switch Online adds the Legend of Zelda Special Edition. So it's a special version of the Legend of Zelda for NES, called The Legend of Zelda Living a Life of Luxury, was added. The quote is, in this souped up version of Legend of Zelda, you'll start with a ton of rupees and items. You'll begin with all equipment, including the white sword, the magical shield, the blue ring, and even the power bracelet. But if Ganon's still giving you a hard time, the power of money will overcome. Just buy yourself more items and give it another try. Beating the game once grants you access to a more difficult version of the game called Second Quest. So apparently this is the idea that the Legend of Zelda is too hard for people to play in its original form. I kind of disagree, but I guess I could kind of see it for little kids. There is certainly a question of, will the Legend of Zelda in its original form be on Switch Online, or is this the only version you're ever going to get? And it seems like it's odd that you would have two versions of the same game available through the online streaming servers. Yeah, it seems very weird. for it to go that way. Because then you just have people accidentally loading into one game when they meant the other game. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the only version you get, and that's gonna kind of suck. Yeah, it's gonna kind of suck in general. We have seen, generally, it's not for the original Legend of Zelda randomizer mods. Usually it's for some of the other later Zelda games that randomize things and move things around. I've seen a lot of people play those modded versions, and so maybe that's what they're thinking, is that there'd be some kind of way in which that made sense and worked. Let's see. Guess I'm taking a coin for a coin.
I'll give it a shot.
The idea that they start modding and changing the old NES games seems like a waste of effort for Nintendo. Like, if anything, why don't they just basically all they're doing is a Game Genie code system, so why don't they just integrate cheat codes into every game online and say, hey, if you want to cheat on this game, you just go to the menu, enter this cheat code, and it will change the amount of rupees and change the items you have, because that's all it really is doing. Let's see. Reduce the cost of all things by 3.
Job's done.
Let's see. Gamasutra has an article. What to choose? It's a blog. How to choose what game to make next. Now, this title in particular drives me kind of crazy. Just as a instant knee-jerk reaction. The idea that you're a game developer and you don't have a passion project in your mind that you want to work on as your next job, or you're free to actually work and choose on what you're going to work, because most game developers are, let's face it, working for somebody else, and thus they are going to have to work on whatever games they're told to work on, and they don't have a choice. But if you do have a choice on what game to play, and you don't have an idea or a passion project already in your head, you really shouldn't go through a system of deciding, oh, will this game make money? Is there a project out there that'll work really well for me? You probably should just work for another company. Frankly, you should just contract your work out, because at the very least you could be working on somebody else's passion project instead of basically selling out, because that's really what this is going to boil down to, is you should sell out, and here's the algorithm to sell out. Let's see.
This is our town, scrub.
Yeah, beat it.
I'm gonna lose. Let's see. Scrolling down here, the first part you see on this vlog is a diagram with a circle that says, well, why am I describing it? I can just show it to you. Games you want to make, games with a market, games you can make, and a smiley face in the middle. Let's see. And see, the idea of games with a market is an odd one. This art blog goes down to say not a lot, frankly. It's barely 50 sentences at most, and I think I'm probably overestimating that. So not really much of a blog in general. I think I would heavily recommend, if you are done with your passion project and you have no passion project in the future that you want to work on, you should contract yourself out and help somebody else finish their project that they are really interested in doing. Like thinking like Square Enix and Final Fantasy. There seems like there probably are a lot of Square Enix Final Fantasy developers out there who are working on what should be a passion project but are being overworked. So if they were to hire and contract some people who had some free time and was willing to do some of the busy work and some of the boring stuff, I think Square Enix projects in general would probably be better. And quicker finished, at least. Let's see. We have a game on Steam called Revelation Tristan. This sounds like a Chinese game, if I was to guess. It is dark screenshot syndrome, seeing a lot of, well, I'm guessing is Chinese symbols. Seems like you're going to run around in a lot of dark areas, fighting some kind of monsters. They don't inherently look like they are all just zombies, or some zombie animals. It's English and simplified Chinese. It's a VR game. Interestingly enough, it requires VR, and it's $24.99. And yeah, that's not inspiring any real confidence, particularly when you see it's the developer has made only one game. More and more, we are seeing instances of Chinese developers just kind of forced into trying to sell things that very well may have sold in China because China was not improving any foreign video games to be sold. So when this was the best game you could find on Wii Game, for example, in China, this probably would have been a game that potentially would have gotten some sales. But now that they're coming to Steam and having to compete with the real world and the rest of the world, you see that they're not anywhere close to quality products. Here's one I'm not going to let you see on the web peak because it has the low effort title of Hinta no Hero, or if you were to translate that, that would be Pervert the Hero from Japanese, which is a low effort asset flip 3D world hack and slash game where the UI looks horrible. You're playing as an asset flipped lady in bikini armor in a boring field, and it seems like you have maybe 2 enemies that you're fighting in the entire game. English only game, early access, 99 cents, already in a bundle. Being in a bundle also indicates as a warning flag that the game is not very good. Can't believe I lost. This is just not working. Today is just not my day for Hearthstone. Like, why did I lose there? Clearly it must be because I'm not paying enough attention, but I still don't really get it, because I'm playing a solo adventure game. Every step that I look at, I should be able to see and evaluate and move forward. So I shouldn't have lost, because I should have played when it was my turn perfectly each time, since this is a turn-based game. Like right now, for example, This is my turn. The only thing I can possibly do is play this. Clearly that's the right move. I hit enter. If I stop paying attention now at the game and move over and read something, it doesn't matter what they really do because because I still played the best I could. Now that it's my turn again, I just have to play the best I can. And then just end the turn again. Yeah. Moving on, Gamma Sutra has an article, How Early Access Shaped the Narrative Structure of We Happy Few. I would argue the narrative structure is one of the few things that might be alright in We Happy Few, but the problem there is early access and responses to the early access did not shape the gameplay mechanics of We Happy Few. There's a quote here said, "We did redo some of the cinematics. There was a bit of carnage, maybe 15%. So 15% of the story changed because of early access." Here's another quote, "We put a great deal of environmental narrative in games, so how you play the game. Do you ransack every house and read every note, or how the map is laid out will affect how you absorb the stories of the world." I think that is a slightly disingenuous explanation of We Happy Few, because We Happy Few specifically was designed so that your joy wore off very quickly and you got chased out of the fancy parts of the game and were left mostly in the slums of the game, where there would have been probably less notes and story to absorb, and even when you're in the slums it seems like you potentially could get attacked by other people who are in the slums, so the whole thing just doesn't actually work the way they're describing it.
X marks the spot.
Am I about to lose again? Yes, I am. What's going on? Apparently I've lost my mind here in Hearthstone because I can't even win a simple first tier game. Let's see. Tragic Master says Origin turn around incoming. I'm not sure I 100% understand that. Is it because I'm just getting really bad RNG? Well, this Gamma Sutra blog, I guess you could read it if you're interested. In the end, I think We Happy Few is dead. You can see also that this article is really just trying to push We Happy Few more than I say Gearbox Publishing actually tried to. When really that We Happy Few kind of needs to just disappear and away, go back to the drawing board, come back. If some fan or if the developers wanted to heavily improve the quality of it and mod it and make some changes to it, and there was like a remastered version or a remake version or a modded version of it that came out later, I'd be kind of cool with that.
First.
There's yeah, but for the most part I think We Happy Few just needs to disappear. It just needs to be eliminated. Finally I got a victory. Play this. Attack this. Let's see. Tragic Master said, just meant your luck is sure to change for the better. Oh, I get it now. RNG turnaround is incoming. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. And you were right, Tragic Master. It did finally turn around. GameIndustry.biz, if I can now just get another... if I can now just get a... I'll take this. One more victory, I'll be done. For the small one quest it seems like I'm gonna get done today. I'm gonna have to play some, I don't know, Silent Post show maybe. Because we're not that far to the end of the news.
The Gilnean people will love me.
GameIndustry.biz has an article. The South Korean network OGN is bringing esports programming to North America with a $100 million investment. The esports producer is going to partner with PUBG Corporation to live stream and broadcast the National PUBG League.
Join us.
Which is kind of funny that Bluehole, which Tencent, the Chinese company, was trying to potentially own all of that, is instead what's happening. Instead of Tencent taking over Bluehole and being an esports PUBG League streamer, the South Korean company is.
Job's done.
Let's see. I doubt that this breaks down to an actual TV station or extended cable station actually streaming PUBG League. It's probably just going to be through Twitch or their own website. Let's see. I guess I'll play this. Intro. Let's see. Gamma Sutra has an article. Ninja Theory funds Suna's scholarship for hashtag World Mental Health Day. I don't know if there actually is a World Mental Health Day or if it's just, you know, one of those made up events.
Yes. Drink.
It probably is a somewhat officially recognized thing.
Pain or suffering, I can't decide.
Let's see. Whenever a player draws a card, deal 1 damage to them. Okay.
This guy's
that.
toast.
And that. It makes a lot of sense that Ninja Theory would be happy to do something. It's weird though to make a scholarship for World Mental Health Day because let's see, Suna's scholarship will be used to fund head-to-toe charity and provide the opportunity for a student to train under the organization every year to become a tutor. That seems weird. Like, why not instead just give money to a hospital of some sort, like a hospital that does mental health services, instead of creating a scholarship that is going to another charity that's gonna then take its 10% off the top, I assume, and then they're gonna make somebody a tutor, which is not much to do with mental health. I know one of the people I follow that's a game developer went on a long rant, I suppose is best you could call it, a long Twitter post talking about their own mental health, and and they're in the UK, England, so they got some level of assistance for mental health issues there. I'm pretty sure Team YouTube probably did something for World Mental Health Day. It's not really a controversial topic, so it didn't stand out as a big deal that somebody would say like Happy World Mental Health, unless they take it into some weird spin. Like you half expect Team YouTube or somebody at YouTube to say World Mental Health Day is all about actually LGBTQI mental health, because they suffer from it way more than anybody else, and just a like complete diversion from what the topic is. I've certainly seen people do posts like that. Give all enemy minions -2. Let's see. Deal 2 damage. I'm gonna take this and use it next turn. Respawn Entertainment is looking for some job listing. I'm not sure what though, because they just posted to their own website, and their own website does not seem to want to really cooperate with me in any way. It looks awful. So maybe my ad blocker is blocking your job listings. I don't. That'd be dumb. So yeah, EA was hiring for something. Check out their Twitter feed if you care. Man, still losing like crazy.
You would have made
Let's go back
such a
here
promising number.
and just make sure I haven't already done it. No, I still need one more monster thing. This is just like the worst. This is the worst luck I've had in a long time for Hearthstone. And I'm almost out of news at this point. Gamma Sutra has an article. Magic Leap announces grant program for indie developers. Let's see. Described during LeapCon as a grant established for developers interested in bringing their creations to the platform. I'm not really sure what Magic Leap is focusing on, because the Magic Leap originally was this device that sat in front of your computer monitor on a desk and in some small way allowed you to wave your hands in front of it, but I think it's since been integrated into more of a headset technology, and I'm still not sure that anybody really knows what it's for or what it does. In general, I guess it's the idea of making a device for people without hands or without the usability of their hands, or supplementing inputs, but I haven't seen anybody really do anything with it yet. That's amazing. And I definitely had a lot of redundant news stories today. Like a lot of stories that were on GameIndustry.biz and TechRaptor and Gamma Sutra, just saying the same thing over and over again. That's not unheard of, certainly, but it is a bit of an annoyance. In general, I'm just annoyed in particular. Woke up late, taking forever to make any progress on Hearthstone, going through the news, and the news isn't terrible, and the games that are coming out are actually pretty good, but just generally annoyed. Let's hit this. TechRaptor has an article. Ubisoft releases full details for the Assassin's Creed 3 remaster, which is interesting. Because, like, I'm not 100% sure what they were really going to do there. I imagined that they would just improve the quality of the graphics and not really do too much else. Finally. It says the remastered edition features the DLC from the original game. This includes Benedict Arnold missions, Hidden Secrets Pack, and Tyranny of King Washington episodes. But that's not all. Assassin's Creed Liberation, the full game, will now will also be included with enhanced visuals for Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, and the original version of those consoles, which I guess means Xbox One and PS4. I'm not sure Assassin's Creed Liberation has ever been on PC or like the consoles. I think it was on portable consoles, so that'll be weird to see if that comes to Steam or how that comes to Steam. Like Liberation, Assassin's Creed 3 will also have enhancements, resolution upscaling allowing you to play in 4K HDR PS4 Pro. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to the Asian account at this point. Like, we've only gotten one daily quest done on the European or the American account, and that's pretty much, I think, all I'm gonna get done until we go into like a silent post show or something. So yeah, resolution upscaling allowing you to play 4K and HDR on PS4 Pro, Xbox X, and PC, and 1080p on PS4 and Xbox One regular. Higher resolution textures, new character models, new lighting rendering system, physically based rendering, denser crowd environments, and visual effects. So that sounds like that's kind of some major changes. Let's see, rogue class cards and warrior class cards. Seems like every single quest has today included playing rogue cards. I don't know why. Expect to play Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered after at least the first DLC of Odyssey. The first DLC on the Season Pass Legacy of the First Blade is an episodic adventure that releases December 2018. So if I get a free upgrade to Assassin's Creed Remastered because I own Assassin's Creed, which I kind of feel like I deserve, then I should be in perfect timing to finish, to find some time to play Assassin's Creed 3, which would have been the next game I would have played anyways, simply because I just gotta finish Borderlands 2. That's really what's being a problem right now, is that Borderlands 2 was 60 hours of content so far and it's felt like 100, and there's all this DLC that I'm hoping is a breath of fresh air, otherwise there's gonna be issues. Each player gets a random card that costs 0. Let's see. Let's go and play this. We have a game on Steam called Tet VR, as in Tetris VR, which looks like a moderately low effort VR game, which is slightly a different standard than a regular low effort game. It looks pretty bad as far as the experience of actually playing a game. Early access, $4.99. Yep, this is not one that would make it to my wish list. Not anywhere close. Pretty bad experience. Alright. Gotta play this and this and this. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, darn it. No more casting spells, I guess. Here's a TechRaptor article that might be slightly controversial, or perhaps only controversial amongst a group that loves controversy. Netflix reveals the actress for Ciri and more for the Witcher TV show. Last month, rumors spread that Ciri would be cast as a BAME, which means that they would hire a black, Asian, or minority ethnic person to play as Ciri, which didn't make a lot of sense to people who have played. Let's go ahead and just squelch.
What's your poison? You will pay.
Ciri was supposed to look a certain way, like The Witcher, Geralt of Rivia. She was supposed to specifically seem like she could have been his daughter. She is described in the books. She is shown in the video games. Changing that would have been a little weird because it would have changed a lot of how she was treated and how the interactions went. And clearly, I don't think if those rumors had turned out to be true, which apparently they aren't, now it didn't feel like there was a lot of thought being put behind that stuff.
Take a walk on the wild side.
There's no sting. You will pay.
Gonna lose. Let's see. Hyphen from the previous sentence. Let's just start over. Last month, rumors spread Ciri would be cast as a BAME, Black, Asian, minority ethnic actress for the upcoming The Witcher TV series on Netflix. The results were ugly, leading to widespread fan outcry in the show's writer leaving Twitter. Today we found out who will actually be playing Ciri and other key characters here. And we already knew who Geralt of Rivia was going to be playing, who was going to be playing it, and that was Henry Cavill, who is a white male, or at least looks like one. We now know that Freya Allen is going to be playing Ciri, and Freya Allen looks rather young. So the TV series is probably going to cover some storylines that happened before the events of The Witcher 3, I would imagine, and probably just throughout the events of all of the Witcher stories. We have Anya Kalatra playing Yennefer, and Jodie May playing Catherine, and let's see, several other people whose names I wouldn't want to bother trying to pronounce. There is a Mimi Nedwini, Ndiwinei, who looks to be black, who's playing Frigala, a character I don't remember. I wouldn't be surprised as Netflix tries to make the Witcher series a little bit more universal and a little less Polish-centric, where in Poland everybody looks exactly the same, so they wouldn't have really thought of that. I wouldn't be surprised if there are people that get changed or added, or just new characters. The real problem, as I took it, was the fact that how there was a real connection and importance of Geralt of Rivia looking the same as Ciri, and people seem to have problems with that. Series actress Freya Allen, her career started a year ago. She appeared in AMC's Into the Badlands. Oh, I like that series. I wonder what she may be playing the daughter. That could be that actress, I suppose. And this, I am tired of getting this hero. I need to pick a different hero class because clearly this guy cannot win. She's also, Freya Allen is also going to be in the upcoming mini-series The War of the Worlds, which will be interesting to see how well that story can be told in modern times, since the last time it was tried to be remade, it didn't really succeed. The quick take on TechRaptor here says Sirius is not in fact a BAME actress, and many people will be left feeling like fools for the outcry. Anyways, I'm excited about the cast. I'm only familiar with Henry Cavill, which I still think is a great choice for Geralt, and I think it was the right choice to go with a lesser known actors and actresses for the show. Yeah, just for budget reason alone for this Netflix series. Netflix in particular needs to stop spending so much money on games or on videos and shows that turn out to not really succeed that well. If Netflix really started to show some of its accounting, I imagine it's losing money quite a lot. The fact that this actress who's playing Ciri has been in Enter the Borderlands, Enter the Badlands, sorry, is actually really reassuring too, because it tells everybody in the Into the Badlands has had training with a lot of kung fu and moving and action moves, so you kind of know immediately she's going to be able to jump on board and look very badass in the action moves. Let's see. Next we have on Steam a game called The Poisoner, or Poisoner. It says it's a VR game. It looks like it's some kind of horror game, kind of like Saw, almost. It looks a little bit more polished than most, and you can see that while these are dark environments, you can actually see most of the screens in a lot of this. Two police officers follow a trail. Kind of feels like Condemned. Unfortunately, it requires VR and it's $2.99, so it's probably not very long. And it's a VR game, so maybe I'll put this on my follow list, but yeah, I'm not super happy with what's going on over here on Hearthstone. Mage? Let's just play Mage. See what happens. Yeah, I'll put the Poisoner on the watch list. We have a Capcom beat 'em up bundle on Steam, which is a collection of beat 'em up games. Final Fight, Fatal Fury, things like that. Let's see if we could get a full list of them.
Do not touch
perhaps, because that would be the important information on this. It's $19.99. I heard this bundle probably wasn't the best, but frankly a lot of these bundles are just to justify then going and finding a ROM somewhere else, or perhaps often when you get these games it includes the ROMs themselves. So this includes Final Fight, Captain Commando, The King of Dragons, Kings of the Round and Warriors of Fate, as well as 2 games that were previously unavailable on consoles, Armored Warriors and Battle Circuit. So that tells you something, I think. See what the reviews are on this. It doesn't really have any reviews yet. So I'll put that on my wish list. Just in general, it's not a high focus game. Certainly I don't think I would come about and make a series covering Final Fight or something. It'd probably be like one long playthrough or a spotlight, because those are arcade games in particular, and kind of nothing that they're just there to suck money away from you. My hero has taunt. Interesting. Well, this will be interesting to see what happens then. TechRaptor has an article expanding the world of Tomb Raider, a chat with Tomb Raider comic artist Philip Savay. It's an interesting thought, I suppose, that there would be this Tomb Raider comic that apparently exists, and it's, I guess, by Dark Horse.
Your pathetic
Is
magic betrays you. Your pathetic magic
Would you
betrays
shut up?
you.
This is a Japanese person too doing this. That is incredibly rude. Or an Asian person at least doing it. So yeah, the problem that I see as now I have learned that there actually is a comic book series for Tomb Raider is, oh, is that where all the
Job's done.
is that where all the story went, or the better writing went? Because let's face it, Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider reboot and then Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, not really the best storyline ever. In quite a surprising fashion, I was watching a speedrun of the bad Tomb Raider game from the original series, Angel of Darkness, or Angel of Death, or whatever it is, the 4th game, or I think it is. And in the speedrun, the speedrunner somehow, I don't think this was a mod or anything, changed from playing a Lara Croft to playing a character who looked a lot like Nathan Drake, and he said was the prototype character of Nathan Drake, which then shows I don't really understand the story of how things happened, but it kind of gives me the idea that did they literally abandon the Tomb Raider series to make the to make the Uncharted series, to then only come back and change the new Tomb Raider series into the Uncharted series in a weird circular logic? Is that really what they were doing? And who thought of that? It's like, it's kind of insulting. It's like, oh, Tomb Raider has been this hugely successful game series with 1, 2, and 3. Nobody really likes 4, and instead of doing a hugely successful game series and continuing it, we're going to basically abandon it and make a male version of it. Like, at a certain point you kind of have to wonder, were they really not selling just because it had a female protagonist? And I'd hate to believe that was the case even in the old days, but maybe it was. Maybe they had the numbers to prove it. I don't think I'd ever actually, to get back to this TechRaptor article, the interview with the comic artist, I don't think I'd ever read the comic. Honestly though, I'm not sure I'd ever read too many other comics ever. I'm gonna lose here. Like, I have some that I wanted to read, but I don't think I've got time for them.
Shopping.
Paladin? Question mark? Next we have a game on Steam called Terror for Two. Terror for Two says it's a text-based game, apparently, according to the fans. This is a low-effort asset flip, like horror game.
Versus Scalosaurus Hex.
It's dark screenshot syndrome issues on both sides. Bad textures everywhere. You're stuck in the standard house and you're getting chased by something. 30% off for $10.50. And of course it'll be made by some developer who's never made anything else before, and they're just getting on the bandwagon of Halloween. So we'll close that tab. Really don't have too much more as far as games to talk about. We have a game called September 1999, which is not in widescreen, and it seems like it's going to try to be like a paranormal activity style game with actual live action videos is what it looks like. Like, that doesn't really look animated. We have to play over here. Yeah, none of these screenshots look animated at all. The game is free, I suppose the price is right, but I don't see any reason why I'd want to play this game. This is the other game this developer has made, which is oddly reviewed as mostly positive. Okay, normal. How did you get 122 reviews to say your game was positive? And it came out June 18th. That feels like vote manipulation. More recently it's mixed reviews, and I would believe the mixed reviews from what I'm seeing a lot more than what the overall reviews.
What? They fell off a truck.
Let's see. Next we have a game on Steam called Red Alliance, and again it's a better looking asset flip potential game. The problem with doing these panning shots of different environments is, yes, it could give a player the idea of the many different environments you are in. At this point I'm actually gaining some faith in this game that it actually does have multiple environments, but it also tends to be an overused cliche in low effort game videos, because you're not showing any actual gameplay here, or any enemies or movement or user interface or anything. This is kind of an easy thing to program. And just as I clicked away, it started to
A demo.
if you have a beast, summon a random beast. I'm gonna just position myself here and end this. So now when we go further, we see there's a gun involved, but no user interface. That's not inherently a terrible thought. And if you don't really need a map, if you don't really need bullets. This game is in English, Russian, and French, which is a weird combination of languages. That's $11.99. So it comes down to, does this game have any credibility? And the answer to that is no, and there's 3 reviews, which all 3 of those could be paid reviews. Like here you have one that says enemy AI is not good, voice acting is really bad, pacing feels too fast. Yeah. The other problem, of course, is any first-person shooter game, just in general, runs into this issue of it's not being a much of an experience.
A demo.
Hit this, and then hit this, and then hit. Let's kill something.
Job's done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really not gonna be sold on a first-person shooter game as it is. Just any random general first-person shooter. It has such a hill to climb. There's been so many good ones out there. Why would I want to play a random one that doesn't look particularly special? TechRaptor has an article. The Sinnoh, S-I-N-N-O-H region Pokemon are coming to Pokemon Go. For anybody playing Pokemon Go, I'm sure that's of some small interest. So we are now 3 hours into streaming, and I normally would have had all the quests done, and I'm so struggling. So struggling. Let's see.
Marvelous.
Gonna gain 8 armor.
A demo.
TechRaptor has an article, The Odd and the Indescribable -Cat Show, and this seems like an itch.io game articles about a game. Yeah, it's an itch.io. MS Paint level graphics. Let's just see if we can show it off here. That's the kind of games that should be on itch.io. Let's see if we can do this. Hearthstone tweeted, Hollow's End is nearly upon us. Find out what spooky surprises await you in the tavern from October 17th and October 31st. And let's see. And they said they'll be discussing a couple of card balance changes to make next week. We'll have more information to provide on October 15th. So they're definitely going to make some changes.
Fresh from Kazakis.
Let's see. So Hearthstone says, Hollow's End is nearly upon us. Tempting treats. Just for logging in between October 17th and October 31st, 10 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, you'll get a free Golden Witch's Cauldron and arena ticket. So I guess we'll play an arena. I think we probably already knew this information. You can experience dual class arena with an additional twist where you're playing as a witch character that looks like a mage and also has some other characters attack styles, like the warlock, warrior, and priest. Let's see, how do we want to push this?
Marvelous.
You'll get 2 tricky tavern brawls, monster smash, and the headless horseman rides again. And then there will be a hollow bundle, which adds 20 Witchwood card packs to you, and the Annoyatron character face replacement. If you have an arena run in progress when Hall's End begins October 17th, then it will be retired and you will receive a free normal reward for the number of wins you've achieved in a free arena ticket in the hours before. So basically, if you haven't finished an arena run, which potentially could be me, but I doubt it, you're going to get kicked out and have to start over from the beginning, but they'll give you a free extra arena ticket. It seems like that's what they're saying, at least. GameIndustry.biz has an article. Advance acquires majority stake in Newzoo, the media company, to make a significant investment in Newzoo to help expand its visibility, U.S. presidents. So the media and communication companies Advance, who I've never heard of, now has taken a majority stake in the esports analytics firm Newzoo, who I haven't heard of. So this is too inside baseball for me, but the story is there if you want to read it. Let's see.
Marvelous.
Let's see. Can only kill a minion. TechRaptor has an article. RimWorld's 1.0 patch is ready for takeoff on October 17th. So if you're still in the RimWorld, I guess it's coming out of beta, for better or worse. I'm not sure too many people really are into RimWorld still, as a Minecraft clone in a 2D perspective. Let's see. Gamatsu has an article. Sengoku canon for Nintendo Switch announced. This looks like an eShop visual novel that's probably not coming to the West. Let's see. No, it's not visual novel according to the tag. Sengoku Canon was the first console original entry in the arcade game series that consists of Sengoku Ace and Sengoku Blade. It launched as a...
Well, no.
Engaging TC-130 mental dislocator.
Let's see. I could have summoned more of these.
Job's done.
Let's see. It says, well, there's a horizontal shoot 'em up, so it's a flying up the screen shooter. Interesting. By the thumbnail I am seeing, this does not look like a horizontal shoot 'em up to me. There's a girl that I won't show, just in fear of being demonetized, but that is showing quite a bit of cleavage in this game. Let's see, 6 playable characters, 3 difficulty settings, 5 stages. Interesting game I've never heard of. It's one of those Japanese only experiences that somehow played warrior cards while playing the paladin. Let's try the priest. We've got a game on Steam called Blocky Snake, which is another 3D version of Snake. At least in this instance, the animation and the perspective makes some sense. The previous one was in VR, and you couldn't even see from a top-down view. This kind of works, and it adds something more to it because you're in an environment. It's a very blocky Roblox style of like low polygon animation, but it feels like it kind of is doing something different for the Snake. The idea of a Snake game, which is a pretty simplistic idea. It's a free-to-play game too, so this oddly is probably one of the best games that has come out since last stream. Here's a free-to-play game that, unless it has some microtransactions or something in it, is selling itself at the right value for the right reasons. If this developer came out with a game that wasn't free-to-play and cost money as their next project, I would be willing to consider that they did right by the consumer with releasing this very simplistic experience. I have to come over here and play a little bit. That being said, it's a free game, so I don't put free games on the wishlist. OpenCritic has a new article. They don't post a lot of articles. They're mostly just focused on let's see, all secrets cost 0. But their article is PSN ID changes are finally on their way. Giant Bomb talked about this on the Bombcast too. You have to sign up for the software beta if you want to do it right now. Testers will receive their first name change for free, and subsequent changes will be priced at $9.99 for regular users and $4.99 for PlayStation Plus users. So you're really paying through the nose for a service that should be free. Let's just be honest here. That totally should be a free service. Maybe you charge 99 cents for the second time. You have to do it in 3 months. Inherently, there's going to be a lot of stories where it's like, I'm being stalked, this person found my user ID, I need to change it now. Oh, they found my new ID and I need to change it now. Again, like, sure, there will be a lot of people that are just going to flippantly try to change their name all the time, but and there probably needs to be some limiting factor, but then there's going to be a lot of legitimate reasons that they're not considering, that where $9.99 or $4.99 is not a reasonable amount to ask. It really isn't a reasonable amount to ask at all. It would be, it gets close to the equivalent of Twitter asking you for $5 for every time you wanted to tweet, or Facebook asking you for money every time you wanted to post, because you're really not changing a lot of information. Moving on, Gamatsu has an article, Deathmark first English trailer. What is Deathmark? Is a search and survival, ghost busting, riddle me this game. What kind of game is this? It's visual novel, rated M for mature. And I guess if I'm seeing a trailer and it says at the beginning rated M for mature, I probably shouldn't stream that either. Show it off. I'm trying to remember which one Deathmark is, because there's so many dark, horrific visual novel games that come out. Well, there's a severed arm. And that's about the most grotesque thing in the trailer that I'm skipping through. Yep. I still have no idea what Deathmark is, but I know it's a visual novel. It's coming to the PS4, Switch, PS Vita on October 31st in North America. Was that PC? No PC release, so I'll probably never play it. Let's see. I'm still not really getting any progress with the growing news. Let's just attack this and see if we can get anything. GameIndustry.biz has this article that I haven't heard a lot about it, so it must be either pretty new or for some reason the mainstream video game media decided not to push this their previous ideas of you know, all video gamers, particularly esports video gamers, are toxic and horrible people and need not to be in any career path at all ever. But getting away from that opinion, the story is Jagex investigates streamer following allegations of abusive behavior. Ali, quote, gross gore, end quote, Larson accused of sexual harassment, verbal abuse, and physical violence during RuneFest 2018. I've never heard of this person, but I really don't know a lot of the popular YouTubers and Twitch streamers. And I think it's a lot of times it is, oh, they're popular when they're caught doing something wrong, but they're insignificant alt-right streamers when they break some news or do something right. So it might be a little bit of yellow journalism there, but I'm getting too much into an opinion piece here if I keep interjecting thoughts. Following the official RuneScape fan event, which took place near London over the weekend, multiple complaints were leveled against Larson over social media, including accusations of sexual harassment, physical violence, and verbal abuse. Man, that's one weekend. One bad weekend there. A RuneScape YouTuber known as Skidler released a statement addressing the event. Skidler's statement includes comments Larson's reportedly made to women at the event and an account of a physical altercation which occurred after he was confronted Larson over his behavior. So the person putting out the statement was the person that got in the fight with the person. Yeah. The quote here is, he sat down next to her and he repeatedly commented on her breasts and how attractive they were. She made it clear to gross gore that she was uncomfortable. However, he continued not only making comments but fetched multiple people whom he was with to validate his opinion on her breasts. Rachel approached me shortly and after, distraught, and left the hotel. This is a Polygon article, so whatever. You know, the update to the story from GameIndustry.biz, what is it? Says Jagex has issued the further statement to GameIndustry.biz. Quote, with almost 2,000 people attending RuneFest this year, we thank everyone for making a very special event in the RuneScape calendar. However, after RuneFest had finished, we were made aware of allegations concerning a small number of content creators. While the alleged incidents, and see, they seem to mention multiple content creators where the story seems to really only revolve around one. While the alleged incidences did not take place at the RuneFest venue or within its opening hours, the safety and well-being of those in and around our events is paramount important to us. We have reviewed the allegations and found that the content creators concerned did breach our code of conduct. We do not tolerate inappropriate or offensive behavior in any way, and while we had a limited working relationship with some of the individuals, we will not be working with them or inviting them to future events going forward. And that's a pretty good response, I think, from RuneScape to say, hey, we're not, like, none of this is our fault. We're not going to get in the middle of this. We're just going to try and stay out of this and see where the chips may fall. Quote, as we look towards 2019, we will strive to keep future RuneFests and all Jagex events safe spaces where attendees can continue to enjoy the inclusiveness and positivity that comes from being part of the RuneScape community. There is an opposite argument here too, to support this, where if you are a streamer or a famous person at all, a celebrity, and you're going to an event, you're doing your job, and you really do need to be professional, probably at all times. Like, if you were doing a regular job where you weren't even a celebrity, nobody knew who you were, but you were going to a convention, and after hours at that convention you got drunk at the bar and made a fool of yourself, you're still probably going to be in trouble with work, if not fired. So when you are getting paid or working and going to an event, 100% of that time is you should be working and you should be professional. Like, this is not the time to hit on people or be unprofessional in any way. On the other hand, it does seem like also this was an SJW that was pushing or being rude to somebody who was probably not in the mindset that he was being offensive. He was probably drunk, hitting on a girl, thinking that's, or at least thinking that's what he was doing, and trying to be nice and general, not to excuse his behavior, but if you're doing something bad, if you're half drunk, and then somebody confronts you, that's causing more conflict, and that is certainly not the time to confront somebody. Had this been dealt with differently and not been escalated to what seems to be a full-on fight, I imagine the streamer might have, after a couple days, realized that his actions were inappropriate and he apologized himself. Not that apologizing in the United States nowadays means anything. Hey, look at that. Finally won. Let's see. We've got a game on Steam called Doodle VR, which seems like it is really just a drawing in a generic asset flip world game. See, the problem with something like this is I guess they made a bit of a game around it where you have to draw what's on the card in 3D. Slightly interesting idea. See how much it is. 15% off for $8.49. If you had VR, that's not too expensive. It's a slightly cool idea. It's not great quality, great polish on it. It's from a developer who's never done a VR game before. Looks kind of like it's a cell phone interface type game. And let's see. Let's open this. I'm running out of oxygen at this point. Just talking so much. We're almost out of news. I know we're going a little long today, but not long enough to justify doing a 4th episode. Yeah, we have somebody named Steve Sanchez on YouTube chat going, is this Twitch? No, it's not Twitch. My videos do post automatically to Twitch later on, but no, you're watching a live stream on YouTube. Let's see, pirates cards. Do we have something that might have pirates in it, so I could get at least something done? Yeah, we have this, so we'll play that. Let's see. Gamatsu has a article Strange Brigade DLC, Thrice Damned 1, Isle of the Dead trailer. Let's see. So there's some DLC. First part of a 3-part DLC for $6.99 or as part of the season pass. Wow, that's an expensive expensive bit of DLC. Strange Brigade is available now for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I'm not 100% sure what Strange Brigade is, however. Says it's a shooter. Oh yeah, is Strange Brigade the one where it was teams of 4? Yeah, I think it was. Strange Brigade is this weird game that came out a couple weeks ago, and it looks slightly interesting but a little too expensive. It was kind of like the movie The Mummy. Teams of 4 going through mummy pyramids and other places similar to that. And yeah, the DLC sounds a little too expensive too. Everything about it seems a little too expensive. Alright, let's play Pirates. That's all I'm doing right now. If I can get a victory, that's great. Next we have a game on Steam called Tetris Beyond the Classic Game. So it's Tetris where you shoot out bricks. Is it in VR? I mean, how are you targeting these? It's a slightly interesting spin, frankly, on Tetris. It's in English and Spanish, which I wouldn't inherently say something that's in English and Spanish is particularly a low effort game.
So many options.
You know, the problem with something like this is $4.99, which is a little too expensive for what it is. The problem with the idea of shooting the pieces out is the fact that you're going to have even more focus and move even faster than you do on a high level like level 99 Tetris regular game. So it doubles the amount of effort and makes it a more complicated game, but I'm not sure it gives you enough time or enough motivation to want to play that way. Generally speaking, I don't want to play a game that is just made more complicated for the reason of being more complicated. There has to be some entertainment value in it, and I'm not sure there is to start with the wrong pieces and have to shoot them and make them the right pieces in Tetris. This developer also has made a game called Marble Drum Crazy Stunt Balls, which when you see a name like that, you know it's probably a pretty low effort game, and I think I would say that's probably true for all of them. Let's see. What can I do? This. And then this. And then this. I probably should have attacked first. Yep, that was done. Next we have a game on Steam called Rogue Bit, which seems like it's probably a low effort roguelite game. Let's skip to this part. Yeah, it looks like it's probably trying to tell a story and have you play a game and maybe do a programming function. Is this all programming over here? Yeah, it says education, programming, simulation. And this is just too ugly, frankly. Just too ugly a game to really make me want to play it. And I haven't said that in a while. $4.99 for Rogue Bit. But
I wonder.
Yeah. We really haven't run into some terribly ugly games for at least a month, I would say.
Blood and plunder.
Watch, this is gonna be explosive trap too.
Here we go.
Only got a couple more games to cover. Let's see. Steve Sanchez came on and goes, "Hello, it looks like Twitch, right?" Question mark. It's like, no, it's YouTube. You're on YouTube. Gosh. Figure that out. Not streaming to my Twitch channel. Nobody even knows my Twitch channel's address. Really. Because I don't really promote it. You're clearly on YouTube. You're commenting on YouTube chat. You clearly need to figure out what Twitch is and what YouTube is because you don't clearly understand it. Said clearly too many times in that sentence. Next we have a game on Steam called Dark Nebula VR, which looks like a VR arena first-person shooter kind of low-effort game. And the graphics look alright for what little graphics there are. Like, at least they're going with quality over quantity, but generally speaking you need to do both. Let's see, this game requires VR, it's 15% off for $6.79. Because the standard of quality for VR is so much lower, Dark Nebula VR actually probably, I would say, is something you might consider. It's not an immediate reject, but I am going to reject it just because it would at best be a mediocre VR game. If you're desperate for a new VR game, it's something you might play, but it's not going to be one of the best and best. Gamer Sutra has a video article how studios can set up accessibility-centric spaces. This is for people with disability, I would assume. I guess you do need probably an accessibility lab in your company if your company is big enough to be able to consider accessibility for people with disabilities that still can play games. I still feel like a lot of people's disabilities are so unique to only them and no one else that you can only really meet people halfway there, because what works for one may very well only work for that one person. Let's see. Next we have a game on Steam called Crazy Washing Machine. Clearly this is a low effort asset flip garbage game. I don't think this one's VR though. 8 achievements, 40% for $1.19. Yep, just a regular low effort asset flip, not a VR one. There we go, we played 6 pirates. Okay. Well, it's been a horrible day for me, and I really do want to just take a break, so I don't think we're going to do a silent post show. I may very well just play without anybody watching, go back to the America's account to get at least one daily quest done. It looks like we're going to have a long Friday of just quests to do. I have a couple of bits of news here. Pixel Toys embraces games as a service with Warhammer Realm War. This is a GameIndustry.biz article. So there's going to be a Warhammer Realm War free-to-play games as service game that's coming out. If you're interested in that, I doubt many people will be. And we already talked about the souped-up version of Legend of Zelda out now for the Switch Nintendo Online service, which is weird. We already talked about that. So then that just brings me to the Humble Bundle store. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything worth mentioning here. Nope, no new game bundles. The most recent games bundle was the overwhelmingly positive bundle, which I purchased already. And one can assume that there's not been any amazingly important new news. Let's see. Yep, I think we're fine. I think we're fine to end this stream here. Hopefully, the web link, peak feature worked today, and this wasn't just a foolish attempt like last stream, and hopefully I can just get some of these other daily quests. Wow, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I started late and I slept in, or if it's just RNG or what, but today has been a bad day as far as getting daily quests done, and it really has only taken the exact same amount of time for me to cover the news as it was before. So either because of the web peak feature, I became incredibly worse at playing Hearthstone than I had been, when really I hadn't changed my actions much at all. Like, this is how I've been playing for at least a year, is that I've been looking at news and talking about the news. The only difference is now you can see what I was doing. So I kind of have to chalk it up to RNG. Let's see, let's just double check the chat. Nobody new saying anything new. Alright, so that's good to leave at. That's it for this stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me, you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game or gift card, or you can support me through Patreon. Information down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.